do this. We are in, boys. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday to you all. I got a big grin on my face, and I actually want to start with a little bit of appreciation for you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support on the video I posted a few days ago and the podcast that I published about how my views on depression in men have changed. It was quite a deep video. It was a very personal one, and I was very conscious of every single word that I said, trying to always bring it back to my own perspective and recognizing that everybody has their own experiences with this stuff. But the feedback has been amazing. It's been constructive, it's been positive, and actually I'm really proud of the YouTube community, the small YouTube community that I have started to build, because it's so easy in this world to be put off by negativity. And I'm not saying I'm against people criticizing my content, because actually I would like to be criticized more, because if people criticize me, I can learn from it and I can make it better. So feel free to criticize, by the way. But everything has just been so positive so far. So it's amazing. So thank you so much, guys. Love you back. And the only thing I would ask is, and I don't really want to get into the habit of asking too much from you guys, because if I'm you, and I'm a huge consumer of YouTube, I love YouTube. I think it's an incredible platform to be inspired by if you're watching the right things. But I don't want it to become like just another sales funnel. But obviously, if there is anybody who you think can benefit from a certain video, do me a favor and just share it with them on WhatsApp or wherever, really. Not so that I benefit. I mean, of course, I say I benefit. I don't benefit at all, but more so that they can. Particularly videos like that depression one, I think is important. And you know, all of my videos, in fact, that's kind of what I want to come on to talk about today. So today, it kind of links in with this. I want to talk to you about the healthiest habit that most people aren't doing, and that you can very quickly, easily implement today, right now, off the back of watching this video. And it's a habit. I now see it as a habit. I never used to see it as a habit, because it's also a mindset. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it very soon. And as soon as I say it, 50, maybe 60, 70% of the people watching this are going to click off the video almost in frustration, because they're going to think that I've clickbaited them. I haven't. And I would encourage you, particularly if you are inclined to click off it, to just give me a couple of minutes to try and explain my methodology or what I'm talking about. And if you're still not convinced, then please go on your way. Give me a thumbs down. I don't really care. Tell me in the comments I'm a massive prick. It's fine. But the healthiest habit that I don't think enough people, pretty much nobody is doing, especially these days, is patience. Now, as I said, you might not think of patience as a habit. You might think of it as a mentality. But I think it is a habit, because a habit to me is a daily practice. It's something that I get up with intention and I do. I practice this. Right? So a little bit how like meditation could be defined as a mindset, but it could also be defined as a habit. Meditation looks very different for different people. To some people, meditation is just going for a walk and just having a think. For other people, it's sitting in a yoga position humming. Everybody works differently, and it's the same with patience. It's exactly the same. And the reason I think it's the healthiest habit that no one's doing is because if you're doing the right thing, all you need to succeed is patience. Like, let's take the gym, for example. And I've been there because I was the skinny kid, right? So I'm a super skinny kid. If someone comes along and says to me, Doug, if you do this, and this for X amount of time, you will get bigger, you will get stronger, you will have more confidence, you'll be better with girls, all of the nice benefits that we all want from, external and intrinsic validation, I suppose, that we want from lifting weights. All you need, Doug, is patience. I'll be like, okay, cool. So, and this is kind of what I mean, like, there's nothing stopping anybody watching this from getting the body of their dreams. Absolutely. Physically, there's nothing stopping them, okay? What's stopping you is a psychological factor. And what used to stop me was a psychological factor. I remember when I was like a little bit overweight. I was never obese. I lost 20 kilos, so I lost a fair chunk of weight, but I hide it well because I'm 6'4", I'm tall. But I was like 105 kilos, and you might think, well, that's definitely not obese. And like I say, it wasn't, but I hide it well because I'm tall. And so there was a lot of fat for me to lose. And I'd never had a six pack, never. And I was like, I just don't think I've got the body type to have a six pack. And sure enough, lost 20 kilos, and guess what? I got a six pack. And the reward of the habit is what we're all chasing. A little bit like me doing this YouTube, right? I've now been doing it for, what are we on? This is day 70 actually. This is the 70th day of me doing YouTube every single day in a row. And it is only now that I am starting to see a very small, what you'd call a payback. And there's no money involved, but you're starting to get that external validation. So I had to have the patience for 70 days and the self-belief to believe that if I kept going and kept improving and kept listening and kept responding to the critiques and producing content that people wanted to consume it in a way that they wanted to consume it, that the numbers would go up. And sure enough, now you might think of it, what's this guy talking about? He's got, I think at the time of recording, us on like 73 or 74 subscribers. It's a tiny channel, but I'm not concerned about my position. I'm looking at my trajectory. And YouTube very nicely, and I think it's fantastic, and I think more social platforms should do it. They're very big on this as well. They will tell you about your trajectory more than they tell you about anything else. So they won't say to me, congratulations, Doug, you gained 1 new subscriber last week. They will say, you have grown 300% in the last 28 days. And it's like, wow. So they're framing it in a much better way for their creators, and it's a far smarter system, because then the creator comes back, they're motivated, they're inspired, and guess what? They are then buying their patience from them. They are exchanging the value of the patience, because it's like they're basically saying to me through data, keep going, you're doing the right thing. So tying all of this together, patience is a tough one, because what you need to be patient is a system, and a system that you know is repeatable and that works. And this is why I think people who have certain bodies or maybe big followings continue to grow at the rate that they do, because not only have they been there and done it, but they've got enough evidence to be able to show that they can do it for other people. And that makes sense. So what you're really giving when you give someone your money or your time is you're giving them your trust in their system, in their process. Because you're basically saying like, okay, I know that nothing is going to happen overnight. Like deep down, every single one of us knows you cannot get a sick. What are these videos you see? Oh, 7 minutes to abs or whatever it is. Everyone knows you cannot get abs in 7 minutes. Everybody knows that you cannot build the body of your dreams in 6 weeks. Like anybody who tells you this stuff is lying. But what they can do, what brilliant coaches will do, is they will get you on that trajectory as fast as possible. Because if I am sitting here as a coach, if I'm your coach, my first real job is to figure out what path you want to go on. Let's say you want to lose body fat, and then accelerate you as fast as possible, because you're going to go from a standing start. I want to get you moving, because as soon as you start to get a bit of momentum, that patience, I basically am buying your patience from you. You're going to be like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction, so I'm happy to exchange some time for some patience. Where it gets very difficult and where the skill of patience comes in is where you don't get that immediate feedback. Because if you think about a habit, it's 3 things, right? It's a cue, so something that tells us to do something, and it's often subconscious, by the way, these cues. It's the routine, which is the habit itself. So for example, I could drink this water, that's me, that's the routine of me habitually drinking water. And then there's the reward. Oh, my mouth isn't as dry or throughout the day. And again, drinking water is a very good example, because at a subconscious level, that's where you get the benefit. You're more hydrated, which gives you more energy, which means that you're able to do more stuff. If you're able to do more stuff, then you're able to perform better. If you're able to perform better, then you're probably going to earn more money. People are going to like you more. And it expands and extrapolates and compounds more like that, right? But the reward in that case is very subconscious. So all of this stuff I'm getting to, guys, the secret weapon that most people are missing, the secret habit, is the patience. It's the gap between the doing and the feedback, positive or negative. You learn this when you're creating content, or when you start going to the gym, that yeah, you can get a great pump on, or yeah, you can put an amazing piece of content out, but it might not hit the algorithm for days or weeks, months even. I'll give you another example. There's a TikTok I did. In fact, it was a short, right? So I posted it on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, right? Instagram, I think it got like 500 views, maybe like 1,000. Okay. YouTube Shorts, I think it got like 2,000. TikTok, it's currently sitting on 100,000. But what was so interesting about the TikTok thing, that's not the point. The point is, it sat on like 200 on TikTok for like 2 weeks. And then I have no idea what happened. Suddenly, boom, it just took off. and it just went mad. And it's just grown and grown and grown, and it just seems to have shown no sign of, I have no idea when it will stop. I don't know. It goes through, every time I think it's slowing down or stopping, then I'll suddenly log into TikTok and it'll have like 100 new likes and 1,000 new views. It's really weird. I don't understand it. I don't know why. It's kind of frustrating because it's about a topic. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You could probably go and find it if you really wanted to, but it's a topic that isn't something I would recommend people to do. It was more of an experiment that I did on myself. It was like a mental experiment. But yeah, all of these things, anything good that you want in your life, whether it's making money, building a business, building a body, losing body fat, those are just 4 examples I can think of off the top of my head. They all require patience. So if you can build the habit of patience into your life, and you know the right thing to do, if you have the right knowledge, you won't need motivation. So you can actually remove motivation. If you imagine success as an equation, okay? What are you going to need in this equation? You're going to need time, obviously, right? Nothing happens overnight. You're going to need time. You're going to need an input, okay? So you're going to need effort, okay? So you're going to need time. I'm making this up off the fly, by the way. You're going to need time. You're going to need effort. Maybe we should figure out the equation to success. You're going to need time. You're going to need effort. I suppose you're going to need some kind of direction, some sort of like path that you're going to follow. But then the other big factor that you're going to need is patience. But people think, oh, I need motivation. I need to be motivated. I'm not motivated to do most of the things that I do every day. I'm motivated to do YouTube at the moment, but guess why I'm motivated to do YouTube? Because I've had positive reinforcing feedback recently that people like my stuff. Now, I might put this out, sitting here with a big grin on my face, and then none of my videos do anything for weeks. But that's not the point. I have to understand that I have to have the patience to keep turning up and keep going and to learn. So I don't have the formula, the hack, the secret to growing on YouTube any more than anyone else does. These videos are not exciting. It's me with a fire extinguisher in the background, sitting here talking to you. That's it. There's no production quality, there's no editing, there's nothing. I believe truly that people these days, and I include myself in this, by the way, we've been over-marketed to. It's buzzwords every day, all day, and it's relentless and it's exhausting. And I think now people are just enjoying the actual authenticity. And you have to remember that when there's high supply, there's low value. Okay? So there's a tipping point. And what's cool now, this is why we have trends. What's cool now won't be cool in a year or maybe even 6 months or maybe even a week. Look at like cars, for example. Like what was the coolest car last year? I don't know anything about cars, but whatever the coolest car last year is not going to be the coolest car this year because everyone goes and gets it and then the value comes out of it. So if everyone's doing the same thing and over marketing and boom, 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 pushing it as hard as possible, you hear the same buzzwords, you get into the same patterns and it pushes you away, it makes you resent it. So me doing this YouTube, and this is I'm getting to a point, by the way, is I'm not only am I being authentic and I'm keeping in all my mistakes and I'm talking around a topic here, and it's quite a nuanced topic, which is why I can't just come here and be like, this is the information, do this and you will succeed. I can't be robotic. It's not like this is how you lose body fat. Like we're talking about a mindset thing here, right? It's hard and it's something that I'm still playing with. I'm still learning. I'm a student of the game of life, right? That is cliched. But well, what was the point? I now bloody forgotten the point I was getting to. That was it. The point I was getting to was that I don't have any secrets. I just understand that if I turn up and if I apply this mindset and see it as a habit of patience and keep doing it, and I do it every single day, then I will eventually succeed. Like, think of it this way. If you want to think of it in a different way, think of it in the sense that rather than you're going to succeed, you're reducing the probability that you are going to fail. Maybe that's a better way to look at it. And if you turn up and do something every single day, you're exponentially reducing the probability that you are going to fail at something. That's all I'm doing. There's no secret. And it's the same with all of this stuff around building muscle, building a business, making more money. There's no secret, there's no hack. And Patience is becoming more of a valuable trait because fewer people have it. So whilst it may look like everybody is getting richer and more ripped and more attractive and happier, the data shows it's the complete opposite. It shows that people are getting poorer, more unhealthy, more lonely, more miserable, more depressed, whatever word you want to use to explain it. So social media will amplify the tip of the spear. But the tip of the spear, if you actually listen to what these guys and girls are saying, they will say it is just diligently turning up and committing to the process, admitting that you're going to suck, and then just being as patient as you possibly can. And I think the hardest bit, but the most important bit, and it sounds so easy to say it, but it is so difficult in practice, is doing it when you really don't want to do it. There's been a lot of these videos where I have not wanted to do it. Maybe you can tell, I don't know. But I feel like the true value of something is determined by its scarcity. And the reason I think this is the best habit that no one's doing, patience, is because it's becoming more and more scarce. And as it becomes scarcer and scarcer, its value will go up. And as its value goes up, if you are doing it, your value will go up. Because you can apply this to anything. And this is, people will focus on the problem. They'll be like, oh, well, it's because of TikTok, or it's because of, well, I suppose it's pretty much just TikTok, isn't it? But it's because of social media or whatever, right? We all want that. But there's no point focusing on the problem. I think I said this in another day. Don't try to change market conditions because you can't. Accept them and learn how to manipulate them. And one of the market conditions at the moment is that there is a low supply of patience. But as the supply of it plummets, and it's continuing to plummet, the value of it, the demand for it will go up, and it will go up probably even quicker. So if you want your money to be up, if you want your health to be up, if you just want your life to be better, be more patient. I've talked around this a lot because I really want to try and hit it from as many different angles, and the reason I want to do that is because I want as many of you guys to just be more patient. So I would say the key take home from this is, remember, there is nothing physically from stopping you achieving your goals. It's all here. It's all psychology. It's limiting beliefs, it's lack of self-belief, it's maybe not having the knowledge, but there's no excuse for that now because you've got YouTube, which is completely free. You've got ChatGPT, which is completely free. You can search for absolutely anything. You can find the answer to any problem, pretty much. And then you just need to go down that rabbit hole. So the knowledge isn't the problem. There's no, of course, people do have physical impairments. I understand that. But let's say that I'm talking to the 99.9% of people. And by the way, if you do have a physical impairment that's holding you back from this, then of course I empathize with you. And in this situation, I can't necessarily help you. And that frustrates me, but I have to talk to the majority here. And you have to remember the key thing is that what's holding you back is a psychological factor. That's it. And the best way to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to get to, in my experience, from my perspective, is to be more patient. Because less people are doing it, which means less people are going to get what they want, which means there's more opportunity for you to take what they aren't willing to work for. Simple. Cool. Right. I blabbed on a lot. We've kept down to 20 minutes. I do hope this was useful. And no, thank you again, guys. Love for all the support. And please let me know in the comments any criticisms, any other types of content you'd like to see. I want to serve you guys. I had a really good think over the weekend and I was like, what's the kind of next step for me directionally in my life? And I'm kind of at peace with just wanting to serve. If I think about genuinely what makes me happy, it's other people's success. I've come to a realization recently that I don't actually need that much. And I think that's quite nice. It's quite to establish a level of peace in your brain where you always want for more, but you don't need everything. And I think I used to feel like I needed everything. I need the newest laptop. I need this holiday. I need to be with this girl. And now I'm just like, no, I'm pretty good, pretty good. So I'm open to producing anything, and I'll do my absolute best to keep it as real as possible for you guys. But thank you so much. I will shut up now and let you go on with your day. Love and support. See you soon.